And we should be live.
All right. Go ahead and uh, hit the song.
Are you ready for that?
We're ready. It's 8:01.
Bonds and bands. Bonds and bands.
All systems go.
Bonds and bands.
Defiance.
Bonds and bands.
All right. Have you hit the song
This
yet?
rebel has a cause.
Bonds and bands.
We begin as wanderers, and we are
Okay.
wanderers still.
A year ago, I haven't shared my sound with you yet. So give me a chance to do that. Start talking. Start talking.
No, we refuse to.
Well, it's going to put you both on my list for the week then. Not where you want to be.
Welcome, everyone, to the 121st live edition of Bombs and Bands and Wednesday Rants. And I hit that one exactly the way it would sound if I were listening live. So, sounds a little off. We are a little off tonight. But as always, I'm your dedicated and humble host, John Wilder, coming to you from a penthouse control room of the majestic Wilder Industries skyscraper. With me, as always, is Mark.
Hey, how's everyone doing?
And the missus.
Can't talk. Eating.
Can't talk. Can't talk. Glenn will eat me. So I'm going to have to tell everyone hi, yes. And so we're late because the missus was late because unexpectedly things went longer than she expected. And so she came scurrying in the door about the time I normally catch up with her after she's got everything all set up and ready to go.
Well, it's because the weather was nice again today, and I was playing outside, and I just lost track of time.
That's right. And Catherine has joined us. Hey, yeah. I should tell everyone that this is Jan, not the Mrs. I think I'm probably going to get back to signing in as me on that one. Because the reason we had me signed in there is so I could start the podcast if necessary, and we haven't done that in like 30 episodes. So, Mark, how was your week?
Not bad, not exciting, but not bad.
Well, can you be a little more generic?
It was okay.
It's okay. It was fine. Um, the missus, are you fine?
I'm fine. Like I said, I've just been vacationing all week.
Oh my. So everyone is fine. Did anyone do anything
And
exciting this
everyone
week?
knows it.
I ran a chainsaw.
But it was an electric chainsaw.
Well, yeah. They are a lot less noisy, I will tell you that.
That's true.
All right. Well, I
Well,
hope
you
that-
don't injure yourself trying to get them started, pulling that pull string.
Well, and the nice thing is, I was working with our children, and you didn't have to yell or worry about hearing protection. You just do your business. I mean, not that business, but
Are we not doing phrasing anymore?
Just run up and down the street with a electric chainsaw.
all right. Well, let's sneak on in. Did you have anything funny for us, or you just want me to head straight into the meat of our stories?
Let's just head right into it. I don't have anything funny. I don't even have images this week. Again, all the stuff that we've done today, I did in about 45 minutes between my bouts of playing outside.
Yeah. And I did some other stuff too, but I mean, I did some stuff anyway. But there's nothing visual there. The leader of the free world walks into a bar and insults the entire country, but that's okay if they're Irish.
When I went over to Ireland, it was a great experience. I'd been to Ireland many times, but not to actually look up to find my actual family members. And there were so many, and they actually weren't in jail. They were all, but all kidding aside, the Blewitts and the Finnegans and all of the folks who we were related to spent 6 days there. And one of the things that, and the Finnegans were from County Louth. And there's still, if you go to County Louth, there's still a place called Finnegan's Pub, which is, Reverend, it's related to my family. Now, I'm the only Irishman you ever met, though, that's never had a drink, so I'm okay. I'm really not Irish.
Get it? Because all Irish people get in fights and they're drunks.
Well, there you have it.
And how could
That's
there
okay.
not be a bar named Finnegan's in Ireland? That's a very common Irish last name.
Well, I would expect it to be something you would see in a mall. Really, it's Finnegan's, and it's got generic Irish stuff on the walls and Kelly green
It's
paint.
the Irish Applebee's.
Mark, why don't you tell us why you hate the Irish?
Well, I don't, but I do regret that they gave us Biden. Although he did say he wasn't Irish, which is probably true because his ancestors, if I think my son had looked up some of their stuff on, you know, ancestry.com, I think. But anyway, looked to him that the Biden was actually, his family was one of the oppressive class over the
Uh-huh.
regular run-of-the-mill Irish.
Yeah, the people that Mel Gibson was fighting. Well, okay. One group that Mel Gibson was fighting. Better to not open that can of worms either. Let's go into this. Actually, the missus
However,
is
Mel Gibson really did take a drink, so, you know.
yeah. And then the missus, however, is quite Irish.
Yes.
I mean, yes. And you know.
Oh, and by the way, we do have a parody song this week. It's not really a parody, but it is a song. So whenever you want to drop that in, just let me know.
Rock and roll. Let's go.
Right now?
Yeah, no.
All right, let's do it.
Cars zoom by faster than my heartbeat. Every day's a hustle, dodging wheels and tires. Got a steady shot aboard those fires. I'm a squirrel on a mission, gonna stay alive. Crossing roads like a boss, I gotta thrive. Cruising down the boulevard, flip my tail in the breeze. Gotta keep my eyes peeled, no time for a sneeze. Dodging cars, dodging trucks. Gotta keep moving, never get stuck. Squirrel on the move, can't afford to slow. Gotta hustle hard, gotta go, go, go. Next time you see a squirrel darting across the street, give a little honk, help a brother stay neat. Trying to survive in this concrete jungle. With a little luck, we'll never stumble. I'm a fellow rodents living life on the edge. Dodging cars and trucks, ain't no time to hedge. Keep on hustling till the break of dawn. Squirrel gang, we outta here, gotta carry on. Dodging trucks, gotta keep moving, never get stuck. Squirrel on the move, can't afford to slow. Gotta hustle hard, gotta go, go, go. Dodging cars, dodging trucks. Gotta keep moving, never get stuck. Squirrel on the move, can't afford to slow. Gotta hustle hard, gotta go, go, go.
That's my new jam.
So what in the wide, wide world of Dr. Demento was that? Is that you singing it?
That is me singing that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Should have tossed some fish heads in there. I'm telling you, that'd have been number one.
No, you know what? I actually wrote that because I had a dream that I was a squirrel and I was trying to cross a busy road. Yeah, I know, right?
Hey,
Awesome.
Catherine notes a deer are nothing but large squirrels. Okay. So, okay. I had a weird dream last night as well. The dream I had last night was for some reason we had $500,000 in cash in a briefcase, and some people knew it and attacked us. But
Were you a squirrel?
no, but let's put it this way: they didn't come out too well. I should probably stop right there.
Did Squirrel Girl show up to help you?
Sure, we'll go with that.
You know, I keep on waiting. I want to see a Squirrel Girl movie, but you know, what the hell is wrong with Marvel that they won't do it?
Oh,
They
They
did
had
Ant-Man.
at one time. At one time, they were floating the idea of a series, a Squirrel Girl series, but that fell through too.
Mark, you want to spend the next 2 hours talking about what's the matter with Marvel? Do you really want to go there?
I know they'd screw it up.
Okay.
But I mean, Squirrel Girl, she's like the most powerful of the superheroes. She's defeated Thanos single-handedly, and a bunch of other of the major supervillains.
Okay then. That's Squirrel Girl. Honestly, I've never heard of Squirrel Girl until just now. All right. Moving along. The one thing I like about Democrats is their firm stance against interfering in elections. What's that, Chuck Schumer? That only applies to interfering in our elections? Let's roll the tape.
At this critical juncture, I believe a new election is the only way to allow for a healthy and open decision-making process about the future of Israel. At a time when so many Israelis have lost their confidence in the vision and direction of their government. I also believe a majority of the Israeli public will recognize the need for change, and I believe that holding a new election, once the war starts to wind down, would give Israelis an opportunity to express their vision for the post-war future.
Hey, Chuck, like 80% of Americans think Biden is too old and ineffectual to be president. Maybe we should have a new election, like right now.
Yeah, again, this is one of those weird moments where they talk about Russia, but here he is, Israel.
Right.
Mark?
I guess maybe I needed more context because I don't understand what his problem is unless he's still butthurt over Netanyahu's government putting through reforms on the Israeli Supreme Court.
No,
and,
what he's
the
butthurt
extent of
about.
powers.
What he's butthurt about is that they won't do a ceasefire with Hamas. That's what he's butthurt about.
Oh, well, I mean, they're never going to have I don't think they'll have a ceasefire at this
Okay,
point unless it's.
I'm going to throw my Israel card in that there's no productive conversation that happens about Israel on a podcast. So let's move on to cut number 3. So the Democrats are hypocrites, but at least they still believe in the First Amendment. That protects the people's right to speech, doesn't it? Oh dear. And this is from our newest Supreme, Justice Ketanji Jackson Brown, asked a question in Murphy versus Missouri this week during oral arguments.
Justice Jackson?
So my biggest concern is that your view has the First Amendment hamstringing the government in significant ways in the most important time periods. What would you have the government do? I've heard you say a couple times the government can post its own speech, but in my hypothetical, kids, this is not safe, don't do it, is not going to get it done. And so I guess some might say that the government actually has a duty to take steps to protect the citizens of this country.
So the First Amendment was put in place to protect the government's right to speech?
Just like the second was protect the government's right to own guns.
All the first 10 amendments are to protect the rights of the government.
So the name there is Ketanji Jackson Brown.
I think her name might really be Ketanji Brown Jackson.
Well, no, because she sounds like she did when she sang Running on Empty.
I know, that's why I flipped the names.
Mark, what do you think about this legal conundrum? Why should the government be prevented from censoring it?
Well, first of all, I think she's an idiot. She obviously doesn't know anything about the Constitution.
The what?
The Constitution.
The what?
Let me just repeat myself. She's an idiot. You're right. They've over the years, particularly under the liberal dominance of the Supreme Court, which basically was from about 1930s on, they have taken every one of the Bill of Rights and twisted it in some way so that it expands government power and reduces the citizens' rights.
And let me help Mark
And
out just here, just a little bit, Mark.
She's such an idiot!
And this is the problem. Eventually, when you use the emanations and penumbras theory, you get, this theory, this ruling, which amplifies part of the Constitution, and this one, which explains another part, and this one, which explains a different part. And you've created a logical construct that refutes the original thesis. You've said, the right to the people to speak Congress shall make no law. To all of a sudden being Congress makes whatever law it wants to because it needs to.
yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, exactly. This is the fundamental difference between some of the more conservative justices, even though I don't think they go far enough on it. But is that the Constitution is a law, the Bill of Rights are laws, but the Supreme Court has, at least over the last 60, 70 years, has treated it. I think one of the justices once used the term, lodestar or guiding star as a reference to what it was. But they essentially they regard it as guidelines or some ideals out there somewhere that they can just reinterpret as they will, instead of it being a law that needs to be interpreted as it was intended and written.
Indeed. Catherine asked the question, the important question, are we about to talk about the Roman Empire? My response was, we certainly should. Let's turn to some happier news, because sharing is caring, except for sharing the measles. Take it away, NBC News.
Wonk.
Tonight, Chicago officials trying to keep up with an outbreak of measles hitting multiple communities, including at least 2 public schools. Overall, the city reporting 12 cases in just 1 week. 10 of those infections connected to this specific city migrant shelter.
At this point, would you say this situation is under control?
Well, measles is quite contagious, and it spreads among those who are not. So we are trying to get it under control by vaccinating as many people as possible.
Chicago's Commissioner of Public Health says the city has vaccinated more than 900 shelter residents, but that was after the outbreak began, and immunization takes time.
It takes 21 days for the vaccines to become effective.
So in addition to the measles outbreak, they're also having an outbreak of tuberculosis in Chicago. Wonder where that could be coming from.
Cholera and the plague.
Well, import the third world, become the third world, I think is how the saying goes.
All right. Ah, yes. Diseases that we eradicated through patience and time and care. Let's just bring those back in. Well, the missus, I notice, is it time for, Conversation Street or Brain Jackass of the Week? Where would you like to go?
Wherever you want to go.
Let's go to Conversation Street first, shall we?
And now it's
okay. We have to give Richard Hammond his due. I can't handle it when OBS makes him cut out, so let's do that again.
And now it's time for us to take a stroll down the smooth sidewalks of Conversation Street.
And it even comes with a laugh track for us. Gotta love it. So my question.
No, that's
for
a
you,
real audience laughing. That's not a laugh track.
I know. It's a laugh track for us. See? What if Melania was waiting patiently to inherit Donald's money, and New York ends up taking it all away? Mark?
Is that what she's doing? I wasn't aware.
I said,
taking
what
away
if?
though. That's what if? Well, I guess that would be ironic.
The missus?
But
I think the point that you're getting at here, in kind of a rather vague way, is the $500 million settlement.
Yes.
In the well, I understand the gist of it is that New York State says he lied about the valuations on some of his properties when he got a bank loan. The bank was fine with it. They got paid back. Nobody was mad about it, except New York State, which now wants to collect $500 million from Trump and put it in their coffers.
That's correct.
For some foggy reason that, I don't know. I don't really know what the reason is. I mean, the fact that he's Trump. That's the reason.
No one was injured, but yet Trump is Trump. Mark, is that the legal way to put that?
That's the situation. Yeah. I mean, it's a political witch hunt, and unfortunately, he can't post the bond because nobody will, no insurance company will issue a bond in that amount. So they'll, he could try to appeal the fact of he's, there are some constitutional issues he could use to appeal, but as far as the actual fine, and findings that he's, that they're, that the fine was legitimate, that he'd broken the law, he can't appeal that issue. What he could appeal is maybe try to appeal that the fine is excessive and so excessive that it's unconstitutional. But that's pretty much where he's stuck. Now, I have read that developers and investors are getting a little nervous about this with New York, and there's predictions that it may tank their real estate values. But as people try to start pulling their money out before the state turns on other people.
So Catherine asks again the salient question: who is the victim? My answer:
Donald Trump.
Melania. Melania. No, Melania. Don's got enough money. He'll be fine. All right. Let's take us to the jackass, dear.
Oh, okie dokie.
This is Neil Young. And I'm proud to present my Brain Jackass of the Week.
He has good ideas, but he has to start finishing.
Wait. Before we get into the actual Jackass of the Week, we do have to have a news update on the original Jackass. Now, we started this bit 2 years ago because Neil Young yanked all of his complete music library off of Spotify. Why? Because they gave a platform to Joe Rogan, and he disagrees with Joe Rogan's political views. Okay? So that's where this came from. Guess who's back on Spotify? The original Jackass. Neil Young put his music catalog back on Jackass, on Spotify this week. The Jackass put his Jackass music back on Jackass.
I wish we could get the contract to be the exclusive streamers of Neil Young stuff. For Dad in Ohio. Okay. Right. Well, are we ready for the actual jackasses that we're going to go for?
Well, I don't have... Okay, so here's the problem. So I was in a hurry, and I forgot to save my sound bites for my second jackass, and I had to restart my computer when I came in, and so they were still there. It recovered it, but as soon as I hit yes on the last thing to recover the last sound bite, the program just spontaneously shut itself down. So that audio is gone. I don't have the audio for the second jackass.
Well, Catherine notes that it's not a loss because we don't need him around anyhow. So what should we do?
I'm slow on the draw today. Hang on, you can't jump in here yet because Catherine gets this.
There we go. So do we just want to have an award for the first one? I mean, we got a Jackass of the Week. Normally we have two. This week we just have one.
Well, because both things are related. So let's do the first one, and then I'll explain the second one.
Take over, please.
Okay. So he has good ideas, but the man has to start finishing his sentences, because by not doing that, he just gives free ammo to his enemies. And the man I'm speaking about is, of course, the Donald, who said this at a campaign rally this week.
We're going to put a 100% tariff on every single car that comes across the line, and you're not going to be able to sell those cars. If I get elected, now if I don't get elected, it's going to be a bloodbath for the whole. That's going to be the least of it. It's going to be a bloodbath for the country. That'll be the least. But they're not going to sell those cars.
So it's clear, if you've heard the whole clip, and OBS, I think I'm just going to have to reinstall it because it's running like crap. It's clear that what he was talking about when he said there's going to be a bloodbath, he's talking about a bloodbath in the auto industry. If we let these cheap Chinese cars flood our market, it's going to kill the auto industry in the U.S. It will be a bloodbath. We'll have no automakers left.
And I'll throw this out there. You can watch a supercut of people on MSNBC, on NBC, CBS, any news,
and it's that,
using the word bloodbath.
It's that cut. That cut that went with the second nomination for Jackass here. Okay. So Donald gets it first because, again, had he merely tagged onto the end of bloodbath in the car industry, I mean, we'd still be having this conversation because they still would have taken it out of context. But you wouldn't have to, because it's not like he went out there and talked about car industry, pivot, I'm going to kill everyone, pivot back, car industry. He didn't do that. It's clear that he was on the same theme the whole time. Okay. We all understand that. But the entirety of the mainstream media, which is our nominee for Jackass number 2, is that one snippet of soundbite. And that is where he says, if I don't get elected, it's going to be a bloodbath. Mm-hmm. The first cut that I had was from CBS Evening News. It was their lead into the main news. So it's, before the, good evening, I'm so-and-so. And it just comes in. Donald Trump ramps up his violent rhetoric. And then it just says, if I don't get elected, it's going to be a bloodbath. And that's the clip.
Yep. Taken out of context.
Completely out of context.
They falsely claim, as they using their terms.
Mm-hmm.
Normally,
and then there's the supercut with all of the NBC, MSNBC, CNN, all of those people talking about elections and using the term bloodbath.
And so you're saying that there are two nominees: Donald Trump for hoisting his own petard, and
the mainstream media for being so fucking dishonest.
Wow.
That even Democrats are calling them out for it. This is terrible. This is journalistic malpractice.
I'm telling you, we're going to do something a little crazy this week, though.
Okay.
You ready?
All right.
You ready?
I'm ready.
The winner is not number 1. The winner is not number 2. I've never done this before. The winner is number 0. Neil Young.
Oh, a dark horse in the race. It's Neil Young. He runs away with it.
He deserves another one. This is actually his second award.
Well, he won the original one.
He won the original one.
Mm-hmm.
So his second award.
Congratulations, Neil Young. And this has been the Brain Jackass of the Week. He's got to be proud of that.
He's got to be proud of that.
I mean, he'll never have as many as Kamala has, but
or AOC.
Yeah, or AOC. She's been very quiet lately. She hasn't won one for a while.
Oh, she's been too busy. I don't know, sitting. I think she's
watching
had
paint dry.
No, I think she's had hoof and mouth disease. And Catherine just said they shoot horses, don't they? Let's not go there. All right. Are we ready to think real fast?
Think real fast.
Boeing, famed for putting the final in Final Approach, is at it again. Boeing 787...
Hey, is that a Boeing airplane flying above us? Not anymore.
A Boeing 787 nosedive that injured 50 might have been from a flight attendant accidentally hitting a button in the cockpit. Mark, would that be the crash right now button?
I'm wondering why she was in the cockpit.
Oops.
I guess they have to service the pilots once in a while. But...
Wow. We've all seen Airplane. The misses, are there any refunds?
There are no refunds.
Yes. All right. Armed Haitian gangs are now breaking into properties in Haiti, including the home of a Department of Homeland Security special investigations officer. Mark, do you think DHS was invited to the barbecue?
Yeah, one can only hope.
The missus. Which part of the homeland do you think the officer was protecting in Haiti?
His vacation homeland.
Things are getting weird, and they're getting weird fast.
Department of Vacation Homeland Security. I like it.
Bingo.
American troops to be permanently stationed in Taiwan, about a mile from Chinese shores, according to the Taiwanese government in Taipei. Mark, do you think they announced this because they all have Taipei personalities?
That's probably the simplest explanation. They're trying to bluff China, obviously, but that's not funny to say that.
The missus, what could possibly go wrong with this plan?
Oh, nothing. Nothing could go wrong.
Nah, it's probably nothing.
Yesterday, Europe decided they will build their own rockets when Elon has rockets that actually work. What? No, I'm sorry. Let me take that back. Yesterday, Europe decided that why build their own rockets when Elon has rockets that actually work? Europe will pay a 30% premium for Elon's Falcon 9 launches. Mark, this really makes me think of only one question. What's the point of Canada?
That is a good question. It used to be it was just the place where all the pro-British from the American Revolution went to live and so forth, and their offspring and so on. But I don't know if they really serve a purpose anymore.
I will never apologize for standing up for an LGBTQ2 plus.
We have to have a place where dummies can be in control. So, it's Canada.
The missus?
Well, maybe Canada's purpose now is just as a warning. This could be you.
It's not looking good. The missus, what do you think Europeans are sending into space anyway? Cheese wheels?
Nah, they just used catapults to do that. Giant slingshots.
Castro. Catherine, it's Castro.
Yeah.
It's spelling
Here's
Trudeau.
here's the sound of the European Union. Now I can't find it. I lost it. Where'd it go? Oh, sound of the European Union space program.
Maybe they just need the Elon Musk to help them launch their wooden rabbits higher.
Although, if the UN peacekeepers are involved, it sounds more like this.
All right. Next up, Florida is vowing to send Haitian illegals to Martha's Vineyard just in time for tourist season. Mark, do you think that they'll be in demand due to their barbecuing prowess? Can't stop with barbecues, apparently.
Well, the Haitian leader down there, Barbecue, he maintains it. It's a nickname he got because his mother ran a barbecue stand. And I think we should believe him.
Massive cannibalism.
But as far as Martha's Vineyard, no, I totally disagree. I've always thought that they should send them to the rich suburbs immediately surrounding Washington, D.C., where all the top-level lobbyists and government officials live.
Oh, the missus, do you think they'll get to stay longer than the Venezuelans?
Where? In Florida? What are we talking about?
Florida.
Martha's Vineyard.
Haitians showing up in Florida.
Martha's Vineyard.
Remember how fast they got rid of the
Right.
immigrants that landed?
Right. Oh, I don't even think they'll get past the front gate. They'll be prepared this time.
Okay.
Well, maybe Florida can give them, give each of them a free machete before they land them there.
Massive cannibalism.
Always comes back to that.
All right. Again, in Great Islands, Haiti's next door neighbor, Cuba, is said to be experiencing protests as shortages hit the island. Mark, do you think that Cuba would be better off if they had the diversity of all those Haitians?
Of course they would. We all know it.
Yeah, diversity makes us stronger.
Yeah. The missus shouldn't Justin Trudeau head down there to defend his father's legacy?
You would think so. I mean,
Or Justin Castro?
yeah, get him a little green hat while he's down there.
Mm-hmm.
You do Canada a favor, and maybe he'll stay.
Yep. On again, off again, on again, off again. First, Texas could arrest illegals. Then the court said, no, you can't. Then the court said, yes, you can, last night. And then the latest is the courts have said, no, you can't. Mark, instead of arresting them, can they just put them into a protective shield of razor wire to protect them from the awful people of the United States?
Yeah, that sounds reasonable. Although, a trebuchet to launch them back over the border might be more effective.
Trebuchet. I like
Yes.
that one. The missus
Again,
isn't this sort of,
there they go.
the missus isn't this sort of judicial nonsense the sign of a sane and stable country?
Oh, absolutely it is. And don't worry if it's confusing. I mean, you know what the Supreme Court will say.
We can explain it more slowly if you need us to.
All right.
Well, we're boned.
Well, yeah. I mean, they like fillets, right? Okay. Illegal. We're still on illegals. An illegal alien from Lebanon, a member of Hezbollah, was caught at the border, and he was said to want to make bombs. His quote on the United States: "Once you're in, you can never get out." Mark, isn't Hezbollah known for making peaceful love bombs?
Oh yeah, all the time. All the time. They spread joy and wonder wherever they go. Fireworks. They have the best fireworks in the world. He would fit right in, especially the 4th of July.
The missus, why are the Lebanese attempting to escape out of the Lebanon paradise that they made?
It's probably nothing to worry about.
That's fine.
Oh.
That's fine.
And we're heading to our last story. From the Amazon to James Bond pipeline, the FCC is investigating Amazon for selling jammers and other unlawful electronic devices. Huh. Mark, I thought those were legal to own, just not legal to use. Something like Michelle Obama's jockstrap.
Oh.
What the hell is going on?
Well, all it does is make me regret not buying some earlier.
Well, my thought was the biggest thing that they interfere with are Wi-Fi and Ring doorbell cameras so that, thieves could use them in order to mayhem. The missus, do you think Bezos was making it so people would have to dump their jammable Ring doorbells cameras for unjammable AR-15s?
Well, I think the most important thing that we need to consider here is that we need to make sure that all bad cops never, ever fear for their lives. I mean, they don't know us. They don't know who we are. For all they know, we could have a rocket launcher in our pocket.
But we're
the
from Hezbollah.
swimsuit that I'm wearing.
We're from Hezbollah.
Well, I think
Wait, are we not talking about Amazon selling the things?
I think one of their concerns
I'm
is
confused.
that the jammers, some of the jammers are GPS jammers, and it
Mhm.
might interfere with the surveillance drones that the government wants to use over your backyard.
There you have it.
It might keep them from being able to listen to you via your phone.
Nah, they can do that. All right.
That's probably
It has
nothing.
been the fastest 40 minutes in podcasting. Mark, do you have any final thoughts?
Oh, wait, we have to play it out.
Think real fast.
Thank you. Do you have any final thoughts this week? Any happy coincidences? Any good things looking forward to?
No. We're all gonna die someday.
We're all gonna die. You need to cut that one and we're all going to die someday. I feel so uplifted. You are the wind beneath my wings. The missus. How can you top that one? Do you have any?
I got nothing for that one. I got nothing.
For that one.
I think we're out on that one.
Yeah, on that note, I'd like to thank everyone for coming by to Bombs and Bants and Wednesday Rants. As always, I'm your dedicated and humble host, John Wilder.
And this is Mark.
And I'm, God is my witness, going to make it a solid effort to do things, get them done sooner than 30 minutes before the podcast starts next week. Maybe. I might.